core set of tests is here. Maybe I'm testing too much. Maybe there's redundancy. And sure enough, he was able to reduce the regression test set from 800 test cases down to 300. So that's a 60% of the effort just going away. And since regression testing accounts for most of their overall testing, then that's it's not 60% reduction in their overall test effort, but it's a very, very significant reduction in their overall testing, which freed this guy up to do a lot of other things. And this client now requires all their new testers to hold the foundation certificate and is gradually working through training its entire staff of testers. So they clearly have seen a transformative value to getting these people certified, and this is just at the foundation level. Okay, so let's move on to really focus on the advanced program now. The advanced syllabus was developed by a team of 15 authors that span 10 countries, and there were a number of what we call primary reviewers, 69 primary reviewers. Now, a primary reviewer is somebody who's in a tight loop with the authors, reviewing their work as they go through it. And with that, it was 69 authors spanning 9 countries, so we've got some good global diversity there. And then at that time, there were 33 national boards. And so as we went through various refinements of the document, it actually was reviewed collectively by all the 33 national boards. And assume there's, good, say, 5 to 10 people on each board. So this is a lot of eyeballs looking at this thing. And, as I said before, this is distilling certainly over 2,000 person years of experience into this document. Now, the syllabus is out there and specifically is designated as available for use by training providers to write training courses. Anybody can do it. Just because I'm an author of the syllabus doesn't give me any special rights with respect to the syllabus. It's also available as a basis for a book, and again, as an author of books written from the syllabus, I'm one of a number of people who have and can write books based on it, and articles and other uses. It's really, as I said before, it's put out there to spread good ideas around the field. So who are the people who wrote the syllabus? You see a list here in alphabetical order. The asterisks show people who are published authors on the topic of testing, and the plus says that somebody has 20 or more years of experience in software systems development and testing. And so you can see that we've got a lot of really very senior, very experienced people involved in this effort. Okay, so what are the topics that are covered in the advanced syllabus? Well, there's the first chapter is basics, basic aspects, different types of systems and how they affect testing and so forth. Testing processes, which is an expansion of the concept from the foundation level where it talks about the fundamental test process. The advanced level, that's expanded significantly. Chapter 3, test management, obviously a big focus for advanced test manager candidates, not covered anywhere near as much in the 2 test analyst modules. Conversely, test techniques and testing of software characteristics, chapters 4 and 5, are very much the focus of the 2 test analyst certificates, while the test manager certificate doesn't cover those at all. And just to give you an idea, it's probably the case that in an accredited training course, about 2 out of the 5 days in an advanced test manager course will be spent entirely on the test management chapter, and in the test analyst courses, it would be 2 to 2.5. In some cases 3 days spent on chapters 4 and 5. So you can see that they are very different that way. Chapter 6, reviews, is something which is covered both by test managers and test analyst certifications, though in very, very different ways. The test manager, of course, is focused on managing the review process, while the test analyst is focused on participating in it, and thus the material is a different focus depending on which of the three lenses you're looking at it from. Incident management, Chapter 7. Again, this is covered by all three modules, but with a very different focus. The test manager is looking at incident management from a point of view of managing the process and gathering up, setting up the structures to gather the right information and so forth, whereas the test analyst is really focused on the how to write a good bug report, what information should it include, and so forth. Standards and Test Process Improvement, Chapter 8. This is a chapter that is focused on almost entirely, in fact, I believe it is entirely focused on by the test management module and is not looked at the test analyst, which makes sense. Now, there is some integration of standards into the test analyst material, specifically IEEE 829, but test process improvement really is a management concept, so it's focused on from the advanced test manager standpoint. Test tools and automation covered by both, or by all three modules, but again with a very different focus. Test managers need to think about concepts related to introducing and successfully managing test automation, whereas the test analysts are more focused on individual tasks involved in automating testing. And then we have people skills and team composition, which is really primarily the focus of the test manager. There's a little bit of material in there that's about skills for the test analysts and how they should grow their skills. But for the most part, this is something that test managers would focus on. So there are 10 chapters, and as you can see, the division across the three different modules is not disjoint in the sense that it's not like, okay, I can say specifically, these chapters are for test manager and only test manager, and these chapters are for test analyst and only test analyst, and these chapters are for technical test analyst and only technical test analyst. It's more the case that different focus has been put on certain chapters in some of the cases. That there are certain chapters which are almost entirely focused on either test analyst, the modules, the two modules, or the test manager module. Okay, metrics, numbers, statistics. We all like numbers, try to measure things. There are 114 pages in the advanced syllabus. The learning objectives. Now, the learning objectives define what you need to know on the exam, but more importantly, what we, the authors, think you need to know in order to be competent in that level. So for the test manager, there are 64 learning objectives. 43 of them have to do with understanding. That's the K2. So understanding a concept, that's knowledge level 2. 12 of those learning objectives have to do with being able to apply a concept to solve a specific problem. That's the K3. And 9 of the learning objectives have to do with being able to analyze a situation and then determine how to apply certain ideas to resolve it. So as you can see, that's pretty heavy load of learning objectives there. A lot to know to that. Test analyst, 29 learning objectives, so it's a little more lightweight, if you will, though still very challenging in terms of the courses and the material because, well, there are fewer learning objectives. Many people find those learning objectives that are there very, very challenging, especially the test design ones. So there are 18 concepts that you need to learn, 18 distinct concepts. 7 concepts that you need to be able to apply to solve real-world problems, and most of those have to do with designing of tests. And then 4 concepts that you need to be able to analyze, basically. And then the technical test analyst, there's 44, so it's kind of midway between 25 are the understanding level, 11 in application, and 8 analysis. There are 21 referenced books, of which I'm happy to say that I've written a couple, and there are 7 reference standards. The primary reference standard is the IEEE 829 standard. Okay, so learning objectives. I've mentioned this. What are the learning objectives? The foundation and advanced exams are based on learning objectives.